Hey everyone, I'm Krexu, and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I'm showing you a collection of the 40 best underrated Minecraft mods. Without further ado, let's jump right in. I decided to combine two mods, Zipline and HyphaPiracea. They're super simple, yet incredibly satisfying and useful mods that add ziplines and jumpable ropes to Minecraft. With these, you can link different spots on the map using special cables and quickly hop from one to another to reach your destination. This setup is perfect for mountains, crossing ravines, or moving between tall buildings. Setting up the ziplines is very intuitive and doesn't require a complex mechanics, so it fits the vanilla vibe perfectly. You just stretch the rope between 2 points and the rest pretty much works on its own. It's a great addition for both single player and multiplayer servers, making exploration and transport between bases way more fun. The Wasteland is a brilliant mod that adds a completely new radioactive dimension to Minecraft, kept in a post-apocalyptic vibe. To get to this dimension, you just need to build a special portal out of the new concrete blocks and then activate it with a special portal core made of iron, glass panes, and flint and steel. In the new dimension, we'll meet a couple of new monsters. Besides monsters, we'll also find over a dozen new structures that fit this dimension perfectly. At first, I didn't expect it to fit the post-apocalyptic vibe so well. One of the main new mechanics is radioactivity. We can get irradiated in various ways, for example, by staying in this dimension without protection, holding contaminated items, or even just being near an irradiated player. The radiation level gradually affects the character, causing increasingly stronger negative effects such as losing maximum hearts or mining fatigue. To monitor the radiation level, you use a Geiger counter which shows our current irradiation. It's worth noting that the mod doesn't add any content to the overworld. All elements are found exclusively in the new dimension. The only downside is the guns. You know, specifically where the bullets come from, because unfortunately the bullets don't fly out of the gun, but out of our character, which looks pretty bad. But that's the only downside I notice in this mod. It's definitely one of the more underrated modifications. It's been a while since we've seen a mod that adds such a large amount of decorative furniture, allowing for more realistic and detailed interiors for our bases. The mod adds a ton of different pieces of equipment, for example, tables, chairs, cabinets, or even semi-functional TVs and computers. Many of the added furniture pieces have polished models and textures, which makes them fit well with vanilla, while adding more detail and creative possibilities for decorating your homes. Some models are very highly detailed, which definitely confirms my belief that this is one of the better and more underrated decorative mods for Minecraft. Fantastic Wings is an incredibly well-made mod that adds beautifully animated bird and insect-inspired wings, allowing you to fly freely across your world. Instead of the classic elytra that requires fireworks, you get a unique wing system where you actually grow your wings using special potions. There are several different types of wings, and each requires its own specific potion to create. Once you drink the right one, your character gains wings that you can use to fly without any limits. Each wing type has its own vibe. Some are elegant and bird-like, while others look like insects. Personally, I prefer the bird wings because the animations are so smooth and well done. To start flying, you just hit a keybind, and hitting it again will fold them away. A huge plus is that you can also remove the wings with a special de-winging potion, so you're not permanently stuck with them if you want to go back to normal. Plus, the flight animations are super smooth, which makes using them even more addictive. This mod is definitely worth adding to any mod pack. The next mod on our list really upgrades the spyglass by letting you install different lenses and modules to make it way more useful. It adds special lenses with unique effects like detecting nearby mobs or revealing hidden blocks. There are also purely visual lenses that change how you see the world, like Spider or Enderman Vision. The mod also adds modules to upgrade the spyglass, such as adjustable zoom or mob tracking. It all works through a special spyglass inventory system where you can quickly swap lenses and adapt to any situation. Honestly, thanks to this mod, the vanilla spyglass becomes a much more useful exploration tool. Ancient Structures is a really well-made mod that adds a massive amount of new content. While exploring the world, you'll start coming across all kinds of ancient buildings, ruins, and forgotten places that look absolutely stunning and unique. Each structure is super atmospheric and fits seamlessly into the environment, making every discovery feel incredibly rewarding. But it's not just about the buildings. The mod also adds a ton of new blocks for building and decoration, along with a few new armor sets. It really spices up world exploration because instead of just empty terrain, you'll stumble upon something brand new every once in a while. It definitely encourages you to stop and check what's inside. You might find some rare loot, new armor, or decorative blocks that would look perfect in your base. In my opinion, if you love exploration and want more structures in your game, you should definitely add this to your mod pack. It Takes a Pillage continuation is a mod that expands on the pillager civilization by adding new structures like camps and fortifications that spawn randomly throughout the world. Because let's be honest, standard pillager outposts are basically useless in the base game. This mod really fleshes them out and makes pillager camps spawning in the world actually make sense. Instead of that sad single tower, we get a full-blown camp with walls, prisoners, and other cool-looking additions. The mod also introduces new pillager variants like the Archer, Legionary, and Skirmisher Illagers, each with their own unique designs. In my opinion, it's a mod that perfectly fills the void in pillager content. We've been growing like crazy lately, so hit that subscribe button and join the crew. Nycto is a unique mod that adds vampires to the game and lets us become one of them. To start the transformation into a vampire, we need to find and kill a vampire that appears in forest during a new moon, which allows us to get a special bottle of blood. Drinking it starts the transformation, which lasts about 20 seconds. As a vampire, we can use special abilities that we can acquire using an altar. There are over a dozen skills to choose from, such as turning into a bat, short distance teleportation, creating blood barriers, or transforming into a powerful beast. Of course, there's much more to it. The more abilities we choose, the more weaknesses we have to pick as well. For example, higher vulnerability to fire, sunlight, or difficult movement in water. New special armors that strengthen our abilities have also been added, along with coffins that let us survive the day by sleeping until night. The mod introduces a new mechanic for feeding on blood. You can get it directly from mobs or by using a special dagger that lets you collect blood into bottles to use later. In my opinion, it's a really cool mod that spices up the gameplay without overdoing it. If you've ever played Terraria, you'll know this mod perfectly. The Zenith sword is a mod that adds an overpowered sword to the game, inspired by the Zenith from Terraria itself, being an incredibly strong weapon. Here, I'd like to point out that I only recommend installing this mod if you're playing with powerful bosses or other similar monsters, because the Zenith's power kills the dragon in a split second. The mod introduces a unique crafting system for this sword. To get it, we need to collect all the other swords available in the game from wooden to netherite, and we'll also need 3 more things: a nether star, Dragon's Breath, and a Heart of the Sea. The Zenith itself has the ability to attack from a long distance, accompanied by a really pleasing animation that shows the true power of this sword. The sword also deals area damage, so it's the perfect endgame weapon. Primal is a mod that improves the wilderness in Minecraft, making survival more interesting. The mod adds brand new animals such as bears, eagles, sharks, and crocodiles, which appear in different biomes and have their own unique behaviors. For example, you can tame bears using honey, and they become very tough companions that help you in combat. You'll also notice that eagles hunt for their own food like rabbits by catching them and dropping them from a height. Sharks, on the other hand, appear in oceans and attack weaker targets. You can get shark teeth from them, which can be used to craft various items. Overall, the animal animations are really well done and look great, which makes you want to add this mod to your pack even more. Besides mobs, the mod also adds new blocks like river vegetation, shells, etc. If that wasn't enough, the mod also slightly improves vanilla animals like wolves or polar bears. The next mod in today's video adds special grappling hooks that make moving through your world way more dynamic. The mod introduces different versions of the hooks made from various materials, each with its own range and durability. The better the material, the further you can reach, and the easier it is to control your movement. The core mechanic is the hook itself. You can latch onto blocks, climb up the rope, swing between points, or pull off quick jumps, giving you much more mobility than standard vanilla movement. What's really cool is that the rope physics feel quite natural and have a sense of tension, so the movement doesn't feel clunky at all. It actually takes a bit of skill and timing to master. It's not a huge mod, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth checking out as a solid addition to any playthrough. Loot Journal is a mod you've definitely seen in various mod packs before. It's a super simple, yet incredibly useful mod that adds a visual notification showing exactly what you've picked up. It runs really smoothly, and most importantly, it's fully customizable. You just hop into the settings and you've got a ton of options to tweak and customize it exactly how you like. It's a tiny but super useful mod that in my opinion should be a staple in every mod pack. MineDrill is a unique and super handy mod that introduces a specialized drill to speed up mining and resource gathering. Instead of using a classic pickaxe, you get access to a new piece of machinery, the automatic drill. The crafting recipe isn't too demanding, but the drill itself is incredibly powerful. Once you place it down, you just need to give it some fuel to get it running. You can even load it with torches, and it'll automatically place them every 8 blocks. Just a heads up though, the torch placing feature only works when the machine is mining horizontally. It won't place torches while digging vertically. In my opinion, this mod is perfect for the late game when you're working on massive projects and need to clear out a few chunks quickly. The drill will keep digging until it hits bedrock and then automatically shut off. Nether Trials and Chambers is a mod that generates unique trial chambers in the Nether, creating new structures for exploration and combat. In the main rooms, there are spawners with tiny spiders that spawn in large numbers. The dungeons themselves look really nice, and the most important thing about this mod is that all of its structures are made 100% out of vanilla blocks. As a result, the mod fits the vibe perfectly and doesn't disrupt the game's style at all. In my opinion, it's a perfect mod. It doesn't add any new items, yet it significantly improves the Nether in a subtle way without breaking the gameplay style. Brazil Legends is a unique mod that adds things like new monsters, a new boss, and special spellbooks to the game. The mod introduces various mythical creatures such as 2 versions of Cyclops that don't get along, a crocodile dressed as a witch, and other monsters from Brazilian mythology like the Capolobo. New structures have also been added where you can find different monsters or even the boss. You can summon the boss by giving him a golden apple. The modification puts a heavy emphasis on exploration and world discovery, encouraging the player to learn about new threats and secrets related to the legends. Special spellbooks have also been added to the game, giving us things like night vision, the ability to see enemies through walls, extra combat boosts, or even the ability to shoot fireballs. The mod isn't huge, but it adds a bit of Brazilian mythology vibe in a very interesting way. Fights and Frights is basically the monster expansion that vanilla Minecraft never got. It's a massive combat overhaul that adds much more dangerous enemies to the game. The mod introduces brand new mobs that spawn all over the world, making exploration way more risky. Each enemy has its own unique fighting style, like the Reanimated, which strikes you with lightning, or the Tarantula, which hides underground and lunges at you as soon as you get close. On top of the regular mobs, there are new bosses you can summon yourself. Just craft a special totem called the Ominous Hex and give it to a zombie, pillager, or piglin to transform them into a boss version. The mod also adds some cool new items like a special lollipop that highlights nearby enemies and a new block that gives you a massive speed boost. Of course, you'll also find new boss weapons and a fresh armor set. Overall, combat feels way more dynamic and the enemies feel much more alive and challenging than the standard vanilla mobs. Bakeries is a mod that lets you bake and eat all sorts of breads and sweets. It adds a new cooking system that expands on the base game's mechanics, so you can basically become a professional baker. You get to bake different pastries using stuff like a toaster, an oven, or even a blender. You can even place the food as blocks, which is great for decorating your world and building cozy bakeries. It also adds some decor blocks like chairs, tables, and other kitchen-related items. Overall, this mod makes the food and decorating side of the game way more fun and detailed. Myths of the Sea is a mod that completely brings Minecraft's oceans to life by adding mythical creatures and giving you a real reason to stay alert while sailing. The mod introduces various legendary sea monsters like the Kraken and Leviathan, each with its own unique behavior, stats, and fighting style. For instance, the Leviathan is extremely rare and can one-shot an unarmored player, while the Kraken grabs you and drains your health until you deal enough damage to break free. But it's not all about combat. You can actually tame some of these creatures. For example, you can ride the hippocampus to travel through the ocean way faster. Every mob also drops unique items that grant special bonuses. You can eat a Leviathan heart to get 2 extra hearts permanently, or craft special fins that significantly boost your swimming speed. In my opinion, this is a top-tier mod if you feel like Minecraft's oceans are way too empty and boring. The next mod on our list introduces a guidebook system to the game, so we can have all the necessary information in one place, like item drops from a specific mob. The mod adds a special book that works as an interactive guide containing info on blocks, items, mechanics, and other game elements. To unlock something in the guide, we have to look at the specific monster or structure through a spyglass. The guide is designed to be clear and easy to use, allowing you to quickly search for needed info without leaving the game. The best part is that the mod is compatible with other mods and is really easy to configure for your own mod packs. In my opinion, it's the perfect mod when you have a ton of different modifications and it gets easy to lose track of what drops from where and what the percentage chance is. Lettuce Dyed Planks is a simple yet incredibly useful mod that gives you way more creative freedom when building thanks to colored wood variants. The mod lets you dye wooden planks into every color available in the game using standard dyes. This means you can match your blocks exactly to your building style without having to rely on weird substitutes or forcing different materials together. It makes it so much easier to create cohesive and aesthetic structures like fantasy builds that were previously tough to pull off in vanilla using just wood. Most importantly, everything stays true to the Minecraft aesthetic, so the new blocks don't look out of place. They feel like they've been in vanilla from the start. The mod is very lightweight and doesn't change anything outside of building, making it a perfect addition to almost any mod pack. The next mod on our list is called Blocks Previewer. It's a client-side mod that lets you preview how a block will be placed before you actually place it. Because let's be honest, placing things like pistons the right way while messing with redstone is often annoying. Thanks to this mod, we can see the block's orientation before placing it, which helps avoid mistakes when placing things like stairs, pistons, or observers. The mod is client-side and doesn't require any server-side changes, so you can even use it on multiplayer. You can set a keybind in the settings to toggle the preview on and off with one click. Additionally, you can filter which blocks are previewed. For example, whether you want to see a preview for all blocks or just directional ones like stairs or pistons. The mod is simply meant to make building easier and reduce mistakes when placing blocks, especially for builders and redstoners. Myths and Legends is a unique mod that introduces a ton of new structures and monsters, making the world way more diverse and a lot less boring. It adds many unique mobs, and some of them have really nicely done animations and special abilities. There's also a new boss added that has unique skills too. You can also find new items, weapons, and armor while exploring, and each of them gives you special abilities. The mod adds new structures as well, but unfortunately they sometimes generate in a way that doesn't fit the terrain at all. Other than that, the whole mod looks really good, and in my opinion, I would definitely add it to my mod pack anyway. Clutter Bestiary is a friendly mod that focuses on adding all sorts of small creatures and critters to liven up your Minecraft world. The mod introduces over 20 new passive mobs. From now on, you'll come across various bugs, butterflies, insects, and other strange little beings that aren't necessarily a threat, but they make the world feel much more alive and natural. A big plus for this mod is that everything was designed to stay perfectly in line with the Minecraft aesthetic. These new mobs don't look over the top or moddy, they look like something that could actually be part of an official update. You can even catch butterflies in bottles and use them for decoration, which is awesome for creating custom gardens. On top of the new animals, the mod also adds new food items and fresh elytra skins. In my opinion, this is a great mod if you want your world to feel less empty and more full of those little details that make a huge difference in how the game feels. No Man's Land is a unique mod that completely overhauls the base game world. First off, the mod adds tons of new vegetation that fits each biome perfectly, making the world feel way less empty and much more interesting. It adds all kinds of rocks, plants, shells, growths, and way more. Beyond adding new stuff, the mod overhauls the entire world, significantly improving it with new biomes, new tree types, and even brand new animals. But that's not all, because we also get completely new food, torches, dynamite, and even flashbangs. In my opinion, considering everything it adds in just one mod, it convinces me that it's seriously underrated. Arda's Uncrafting Table is a mod that adds a special table to the game, allowing you to break items down into their original ingredients. This is especially useful when coming back from exploring and having a bunch of unnecessary items in your inventory, like diamond gear. Because of this, you can fix crafting mistakes or reuse materials without having to grind for them all over again. The table works as a reversal of the standard crafting system, adding another layer to inventory management. In my opinion, the mod improves the quality of life in the game, especially when you accidentally craft a stack of chests instead of just one. Yeah, that's happened to me many times. Dungeons Dimensions Nether is a mod aimed at improving the Nether by adding content inspired by Minecraft dungeons. The mod introduces new blocks and vegetation, which makes all the Nether forests stop looking so empty, and they really look very nice. From what I found out, the mod is compatible with the Amplified Nether mod and works on both the client and server side. But the key and biggest change is the completely rebuilt fortresses. They are definitely larger and nicer looking, thanks to being made out of completely new blocks added by this mod. And this is the type of mod that doesn't add a million unnecessary things, but simply significantly improves existing ones, like the fortresses or nether forests. In my opinion, this is another definitely underrated modification. The next mod in today's episode really overhauls the combat system by adding new weapons, animations, and skills. It introduces over 10 brand new weapons, more than 20 skills, plus new enchantments and enemies. Each weapon has its own unique animations, behaviors, and even hidden techniques that you can master as you play. Honestly, the weapon animations are just incredible. The best part is that your attacks change depending on what you're doing, whether you're jumping or sprinting, which lets you pull off some really powerful combos. Even the vanilla weapons got a total overhaul in terms of combat and animations. Thanks to this mod, combat feels way more dynamic, challenging, and super flashy. The next mod in today's video adds more brutal and realistic death effects for mobs to Minecraft. The mod makes it so that after defeating enemies, their bodies can fall apart into pieces, which significantly changes the visual side of combat. Of course, these effects also work on friendly creatures like animals or villagers. These effects are dynamic and all the parts fall naturally as if physics were acting on them. The modification focuses only on visual aspects without directly changing the combat mechanics or game balance. This makes combat more intense and spectacular, especially during massive raids and with area of effect weapons. Abyssal Corruptor is a special mod that adds a new powerful boss to the game. We can summon him through a special altar. In the spot where we summon him, a special arena will be created, so I definitely recommend moving away from your base. The boss is incredibly strong, so it's worth preparing very thoroughly for him. The boss has different phases and special unique attacks, both regular and area of effect, which gives him plenty of ways to kill us. The whole thing is focused on adding one big challenge to the game instead of expanding the entire world with new biomes or systems. And the best part is that the mod creator actively reads comments and suggestions and is planning to update the modification to version 1.20.1 as well. Forgotten Ruins is a mod that adds several mysterious temples and ruins to the game, appearing in biomes like jungles, swamps, and mangroves. The mod is inspired by a dark fantasy vibe and encourages exploring forgotten sanctuaries belonging to an ancient civilization, which are protected by ancient golems that activate when a player is nearby. All the new structures were handcrafted, and some of them contain quite valuable loot for the early game. In every structure, you'll obviously find tons of monsters, and some of them have slight visual changes to better capture the ruins' atmosphere. It might not be a massive mod, but in my opinion, it's perfect if you're looking to add structures that are strictly ruins with some interesting additions. Visual Health is a cool mod that adds visual wounds to every mob, so you can easily tell how damaged a creature is. The lower their health gets, the more injured they look. It works on animals like sheep, pigs, wolves, and even bears, and it even works on players, which is a really neat touch. Plus, mobs like Endermen get wounds that match their color, so you'll see bright, glowing purple damage. In my opinion, it's a really creative concept for a mod, but I'd treat it more like a nice-to-have add-on rather than an absolute must-have. Floatater is an unusual mod that adds a special block to the game, allowing you to set entire structures in motion. The mod adds a unique block that can be placed in mid-air, which makes it easier for us to build flying constructions like ships or various moving platforms. You can also attach other normal blocks to this block, allowing us to build regular structures in the air that will move. A special block has also been added that enables us to move the entire construction. You just need to place it in the right spot and put something like a lever next to it. When you flip it, your building automatically starts moving in a very smooth way. To stop it, you just need to click the lever again. The whole thing offers huge creative possibilities for building in our world. In my opinion, it's a very small modification, but it adds a lot to the game. Fewer Dungeons Spawner is a super atmospheric mod that gives cave exploration a nice little upgrade. It adds over 15 new underground structures, so you'll constantly stumble upon unique spots while mining. We're talking everything from abandoned prisons and old mines to hidden bases and towers. But these aren't just empty buildings. Each one comes with its own set of dangers. For example, you might walk into an amethyst cave guarded by ghosts or find a prison holding various monsters. On top of that, the custom spawners and theme mobs make every location feel like a mini dungeon. The best part is that it's all done in a vanilla plus style, so it fits the game perfectly and won't clash with your other structure mods, which is a huge plus for mod packs. In my opinion, it's a must-have if you love exploration and are tired of the same old boring mining trips. The next mod on our list is a unique one that focuses on adding a powerful structure hiding a ton of new content and valuable loot. It introduces a brand new structure that looks like an abandoned castle. Inside, you'll find a few new mobs with unique attacks and a ton of valuable loot in the chests. While exploring the castle, you have to find a special key in a chest to unlock the rest of the area and get to the final boss, who uses different combat phases, AoE attacks, and mechanics like health regeneration. I have to admit, the mob animations aren't bad, but I wish the castle's exterior looked a bit more polished. Also, keep in mind that the mod is still in beta, and the developer has already announced plans to add fire and ice dimensions soon. Fancy Toasts is a mod that reworks the old advancement notification system, replacing it with a more attractive and interesting version. As we well know, the standard achievement notifications are literally boring and haven't been improved in years, which is why this mod adds a new, refreshed version of them. It adds different animation styles for advancements, including standard ones on other visual variants for harder achievements that change how they are displayed. Besides that, the mod allows for personalization. You can change textures, sounds, and the look of the notifications. The whole thing is focused on improving the visual side of achievement notifications in the game and adding more configuration options. Samurai Dynasty is a mod that adds a bit of a Japanese vibe to the game. It introduces various new armors that are made as 3D models, which by the way, look really nice and let us become true samurais. Weapons like shurikens, throwing knives, and different types of katanas have also been added, but I'm disappointed by the lack of special katana combat animations. Now, new monsters will spawn all over the world, and some of them are quite strong. Besides that, the mod adds 3 new structures. Some weapons and armors can naturally be found within these structures. If that wasn't enough, 2 completely new biomes have been added with new types of wood. We can also craft new statues and other decorative items, so if you like Japanese themes, I think this mod will be a perfect fit for your mod pack. Seeds Bag is a small mod that adds a special bag for seeds to the game, making inventory management easier while farming or running through dungeons where we often get various types of seeds as loot. The mod introduces an item that allows you to store different types of seeds in one place, which significantly organizes our inventory. When we pick up seeds from the ground, they are automatically added to our bag so they don't take up separate inventory slots. Additionally, it allows for quick access to the stored seeds, which speeds up planting and creating larger farms. Like I mentioned, the mod isn't big, but in my opinion, it's a cool addition to any mod pack. Climbing is a pretty small mod that adds a climbing system to the game, letting you scale buttons or special walls. To set up a climbing wall, you just place an item frame and put either packed ice or red sandstone inside. Obviously, you'll slide down on the ice wall since it's slippery. This way, you can build all sorts of climbable walls without ruining the look of your base. You can also grab onto buttons and climb just the same. Just keep an eye on your stamina, which will slowly drain depending on what you're grabbing onto. It's a simple mod, but it'd be awesome if the dev added more types of climbing walls so you could use them in more of your base builds. Trotting Wagons is a mod that adds transport wagons to Minecraft, allowing you to carry large amounts of items in a more natural and atmospheric way. The mod adds 3 different variants of wagons that can be used to transport resources, providing an alternative to classic methods like chests or shulker boxes. In my opinion, the mod is a perfect fit for multiplayer servers when creating a medieval-themed server. The wagons are pulled by horses, allowing you to move larger quantities of items at once, especially over long distances. Thanks to this mod, moving resources becomes more interesting and engaging than standard solutions, which forces us to build roads or trade routes. That's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Don't forget to smash that like button and leave a nice comment below. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.